Hello, it's Simone or Simone, and I have purchased a Christmas present for myself during the Black Friday sale from Atlas Stationers. This pen was a doorbuster, and it was also a doorbuster during Fountain Pen Day. And if you know, then I decided to go on a no spend for the remainder of the year during the middle of October. So this is technically not allowed, but I really fell in love with the M800 green Demonstrator, not any of the other M800 pens. And so when this deal came up again, after I had gone through the dilemma with not buying it during Fountain Pen Day, I knew that I would bite myself if I had to purchase this pen at full price sometime during the next year. I did not go on a spending freeze because of my budget. I went on the spending freeze mainly because I really wanted to explore and experience the pens that I have. And so let's go into looking at this pen and seeing what it is all about. I purchased the M800 green Demonstrator with a fine nib. It came obviously beautifully wrapped and very secure from Atlas Stationers. It comes in this magnetic flap box. The cover says Passion here on the inside. It's a really nice sturdy cardboard box. I really appreciate that it's cardboard and not plastic. Then there is a pen sleeve where we can see the pen. This one says, wir wünschen Ihnen viel Freude beim Schreiben mit Ihrem hochwertigen Schreibgerät, Ihr Pelikan Team. We wish you a lot of writing pleasure with your fine writing instrument, yours Pelikan Team. And then underneath there is a booklet and it says warranty. So there is just the warranty and how it works in various different languages. And then there are some carrying instructions also in all the languages. And somewhere here was an image too on how to open and close all the different pens. So I guess this is used for all the different writing instruments that Pelikan has to offer. But this is how the fountain pen works. And that's that. I don't really use pen sleeves like that, and it's vegan leather, plastic pleather. And here is the pen. The pen comes, where is that thing? Comes in a plastic sleeve, and ta-da! Here is the pen. And I don't know what it is about this color. I am totally drawn to all the pens that are very similar in this clear Demonstrator. There's two more pens on my list that I really love. One of them I really want to get for my birthday. Here's the Pelikan logo on the top. And then we have the clip, which is a Pelikan beak. This is how nice and sturdy clip. Then there is a gold band down here that says Pelikan, Souverän, Germany. It feels quite substantial. It's not heavy, but it's also not lightweight. The section down here is quite small, but it's very comfortable in my hand. The nib is bi-colored. There's also a Pelikan on there. Then it says 18 karat fine. I have heard many people say that Pelikan doesn't know what fine, extra fine means. I have not had enough Pelikans or any Pelikans to determine whether they vary between the grinds, but I would also suggest that maybe it's not something that's bad or wrong about them, but maybe it's just this is what they say is a fine, and then if all the fines are the same nib width, then that's just what it is. It's not a fault per se in the pen. It's just a different interpretation of fine and extra fine. And if the medium is bolder than the fine and the extra fine is finer than the fine, then the system is correct. It's just not the same as maybe a Pilot or a Platinum or a Sailor. I've heard that in many videos recently, and I just wanted to say that I don't believe that that's a fault. It's more just a different interpretation of a company that came from Germany and not from Japan. And the writing needs and fountain pen needs were maybe just different, and that's a historic development. And so there's nothing inherently wrong with a fine nib from Pelikan that just writes bolder than the nibs from Japan. So I really like, you saw me scroll, it feels very substantial and sturdy. I hope that is not just the impression, but also the actual facts. And yeah, so I like, let me check how many, it's one full turn to open and uncap this pen. How does it look like when it's posted? I don't know. So this is, I forgot to show you, this was on the clip here. So if I post it, it feels quite back heavy, but if I let it go and let it sit in the crook of my hand, it doesn't really feel unbalanced, which is very interesting. I find it a bit big, so it doesn't fall back. I find it a bit big with the cap on posted, but when I remove the cap, well, actually, it's still okay. It could be just a tad bit bigger for me in order to not feel like I might have to post the pen, but that's just my personal feeling. There's a lot of tipping on this pen, on this nib. You can see this right here. I just looked at it and I was like, wow, this is a big ball of nibbage here. So we'll see how that writes. I actually already dip tested it and I like it, but we'll pretend I haven't tested it yet. So let me compare it quickly with some basic pens that many of us have in their possession, just so you can see how it compares. And then I'll take out some of the more expensive ones. Let's see how it looks. I never post the TWSBI Eco, so I don't post I'm gonna line up the nibs, the tip of the nib, because that's where it touches the paper, so that makes most sense to me. Yeah, see, it's just this tad bit smaller. I also don't post the Lamy Safari or whatever, any iteration of the Lamy Safari body. It's just that tad bit smaller. That's interesting. So how this is what it looks like unposted. This is what it looks like unposted. You can, because the nib is shorter, of course I'm gripping it further down, but it still sticks out just a tiny bit more. That's so interesting. All right, let's check with the high-end pens, how it compares. And I I actually do not consider the SD a high-end pen. So let's cap this again. This feels really nice. It just like this is much lighter. This feels substantial. This is SD, the Platinum 3776 Shape of Heart. This is, if you get this model, it's definitely up in the same price range. So the Atlas Doorbuster was $400 for this pen. And that's why I purchased it right now. If I didn't get that deal, I would have to save more. And that's why I mentioned I like 400 when it originally is 800 just felt like such a great deal when I already planned on purchasing this exact model that I just couldn't let it go. So that's why I bought it then and there. So if we say this was the value, the money that I purchased it for, the only pen it would compare to price-wise, if we say it is 800, is this Sailor King of Pens. Everything else is cheap, is less expensive. Even for the Doorbuster price, none of these pens, these three here, the SD, the Platinum 3776, and the Pilot Custom 823, come close. Currently, the Pilot Custom 823 goes for about 320-ish. I think this was this one is close, but this is only this expensive. I think I saw it for 395 because of the diamond or whatever the glitter is in here, because of this specific model. If you purchase a regular Platinum 3776, it's way less. And if you buy especially the Platinum 3776 on Amazon, you often get great deals on those. And I can highly recommend this pen. Absolutely. Even though it's... So here's the thing. Some of these pens are small, but they're so small that they're very comfortable when they're posted. Look at how this pen sits in my hand. It looks perfect. This is exactly the perfect length and, wow, balance that I enjoy in having a pen, and that's why this works for me. This one I don't post. This one works too, but it also, let's uncap and compare. I want to see this and this next to each other. So I'm just gonna align it on this. It's just a tad bit longer. I didn't think it was, but it is. Let's compare the nibs. They're very, very similar. This one though is a 14 karat and this one is an 18 karat. I have heard from my friend Iron Nick, who is actually a Discord member. So if you want to chat with him, you should join my Discord. If you leave a comment or reach out via email, I will give you that link. Very close. He says that this M800 nib is very stiff compared to many other Pelikan M models, which I cannot speak to because I don't have any of the other models. I decided not to work my way up to this model. I tested the M800 at the San Francisco Pen Show and really liked it. And so this one is still wet from cleaning. Like, this one definitely has a bigger nib. It's so much more stout and chunky. And then let's just put this one here. I'm kind of neglecting the SD, but the SD is definitely a pen that I enjoy holding in my hand, and it has the right length, it has the right grip width. So let's put that here. Wow, and now they're all rolling like so. I should purchase, don't you think that I should purchase that Magnum pen case from Galen Leather, the big one or the small one, which only see that it doesn't work for me. I usually ink up 10 pens, but I should totally purchase that just for the insert so I can show that to you, like Kristen from Life Inspires Design does. That totally justifies the cost of that pen case, right? Nope, it doesn't. So, okay, I'm gonna stop right here. The Platinum 3776 is, of course, the shortest, but it is the pen that I post of those. I don't remember if I post the King of Pens. Well, again, very well balanced. It doesn't fall over. I think I do, not sure. So this one is, of course, the shortest, but doesn't really stand out that much. So the M800 is definitely the shortest of all of them. And I noticed when I tried the first, well, actually, so why do these look differently though? Oh yeah, because it's like just 2 millimeters longer. It definitely feels when I write with it as if I needed to post it. Interesting. Okay, so comparisons are done. I'm going to dip this pen into ink and show you some writing samples, and then I am going to add this pen into my fountain pen penventory notebook, but that is just the very last thing that I'm going to do, and it's not necessarily necessary that you watch this. I just wanted to show you how I add pens and what I do with them when I add a new pen to my pen inventory. So I can also tell you one thing that I do not like about this, and that's the thing with demonstrators, even though I really like them, is that if I ink this up and if I dip this, there's going to be ink between the section and the feed, and it gets stuck here, and when you clean it, it doesn't come out easily. And so I had that happen when I just tested it the first time when it arrived, and I needed to use my ultrasonic cleaner, but it came off really easily when I used that. But that's something that would totally and definitely annoy me a lot. And another thing that I have found is that I use this, and I thought in the beginning that I would just throw this away, but it shows my first pen tests so well that I don't think I should let go of this. So let's, wow, this works. Pelikan M800 Souverän. It has a fine nib. And I have to say that I really like how this writes. The ink that I'm using for testing always is Waterman. Look how much ink it lays down. Serenity Blue. Can you see the amount of ink that is on the paper? Well, it's already dried, I think. I really like that. I have become a fan of wet pens. Downstrokes. It definitely has a little bit of more bounce than I'm used to, which I like. They are very similar. I think like the upstrokes seem to be a little bit dry. Let's do the It definitely has a little bit of line variation if I don't, it's not a flex pen, so I don't push it usually. The quick brown. So I really, it feels so nice. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. How does it do when I'm writing fast? Definitely can keep up. I just dipped it. I didn't ink it anything at all. I like this. Oh, I like this. Very much. And it feels very smooth. I wasn't sure. Maybe it's, but it does start every time right now that I use it. It doesn't feel like it has any like architect or some sort. It looked a little bit when I looked at it first like it had that architect-y grind to it, but I don't think that is visible in the writing. I really like this. I'm so glad I added it to my collection. Friends, I know I said I'm on a no spend, but I think this was the right decision to make. I'm so glad this is in my collection. And I think I also shouldn't dismiss the fact that I seem to love green pens. And I think my next pen will be another green one for sure. So thank you so much for watching unto here. I think that is all I have to say about this pen for now. If you want to see how I add this pen into my penventory, then please stay tuned. Otherwise, I thank you so much for watching. Here's my tools. And here's my penventory. So I can't open this when I'm so close. So I am going to, here is my penventory for 2023. I already added it down here. Pelikan M800, green Demonstrator, added it here, but I did not add it to this. And so that's what we're going to do right now. Let's grab a paper. And then I need my cheat sheet. And I think what I'm documenting is length. I need to change this. So now I feel like I need to do this. This one goes here. All right. Okay, so I'm not going to use this, of course, for documenting. The pen that I am using is my TWSBI Mini. Wow, my camera cable and it has a reverse architect nib that was ground by Kirk Spear. And what I do is I use that for the documentation process. So this is a Pelikan M800 Souverän. So now I need to check my binder for how I do this. Yes, okay. This is the green Demonstrator, and it is a fine nib and 18 karat. All right, so this is pen 2023, number 24. I got it, I'll just write November, what was Monday? I purchased it on November 19, 2023. So then here we go. The grip. This is the most important measurement that I base my liking or not liking on for a fountain pen. So that is the first measurement that I take and put it all the way on the front. I use a caliper for that. And what I decided to do is I am usually, because I'm not a company, I hold it in my hand, I check where I have my pointer finger, and that's where I measure, because that's the measurement that is important for my use case. What I do is, the Goulet website has a very, very extensive technical details for every pen that they sell. And I compare that number to pens that I own, so I can see how much it differs from my own measurements. And it does. So I can actually see what they, 11.23 millimeters. How I need, like what I need to take into consideration when I decide on a pen purchase. When I look for the specifications, I can see, okay, their measurement is 10 millimeters, but my pen measures 11. So if this pen is 10 millimeters in the grip section, I can buy it because they measure at a different place. So grip section is 11.23 millimeters. Then the length. And I measure two lengths. I measure the pen from unposted, and that is 12.9. centimeters, and then I measure it posted, and that is 16.4. And now I need to see how I see. That was wrong. I need to do that differently. I also need to write another one so I can actually have it the way that I do it. Let me check for weight. Okay, so for the weight, I just put it on. I measure, of course, in grams because that's my familiar measurements, same as with centimeters. That's what I can make sense of. I measure it capped. Let me just put it over there. Capped is the same weight as posted, so it's easy to just throw it on when it weight goes H first, T second, length differently, 30 grams. And then, you know what I should do? Probably I should digitize this and make it an Excel sheet or a sheet so that I can compare the weight of all the pens. Unposted, it is 21 grams. 21. And then I write down where I got it and how much it was. And it was around 433 because of taxes. All right, so because I have the Waterman Serenity Blue in here, what I'm going to do is put a writing sample right here. All right, so what I do is I write. I usually start on this and I leave some space so I can add, no, I usually, wrong, I don't leave space. This is Waterman Serenity Blue, and I do these again Yeah, it's definitely driest upstrokes. And why I'm doing this is when you write cursive, you do also when you write print, you do have upstrokes and downstrokes. You don't have them like this, but you have all of these strokes in your letters at all times. And then I do la, 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 minimum. All right. And it writes so smoothly. And this I'm going to just write dip test on November 30th. Oh, I pre-filmed this video because I really want to use this pen. During Inkvent, I'm a grown-up. I don't have to package this up for Christmas, and even if I'm going to use it anyway first, because I think using it for Inkvent will give me the opportunity to just see how I like it that one day, no commitment and stuff. And so that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful if you're deciding on getting an M800. I can definitely highly recommend it. However, you need to take into consideration that I have not tried or used this for an extended period of time. And also that I haven't tried or used any of the other Pelikan pens. That was a personal decision that I have made. So I will see you soon. If you have any fountain pen needs, go check out Atlas. I have an affiliate code with them, and you can find that in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.